ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith decided to fire back at his critics on his podcast, The Stephen A. Smith Show, recently. In particular, rapper and content creator Willie D, who's a member of the Ghetto Boys, along with Scarface and the late Bushwick Bill, and Faizon Love, who you all know as Big Worm off of The First Friday. He's been in other movies such as The Players Club, The Replacements with Keanu Reeves, The Players Club with Ice Cube, Lisa Ray, and the late, great Bernie Mac. Also, he was on the hit TV show in the 90s, The Parenthood with Robert Townsend. He's got a bunch of credits attached to his resume. But these two decide to respond to Stephen A's criticism of the BET Awards honoring O.J. Simpson during their In Memoriam segment last Sunday, live during the BET Awards. I'm going to play a little bit of Willie D's video from his channel, Willie D Live. And I'm also going to play Faizon's videos and then play Stephen A's video, well, Stephen A's response. And I'll come back with my take.
Stephen A. Smith had a problem with the BET Awards acknowledging O.J. Simpson during its In Memoriam segment. So much so that he went on this long diatribe about O.J. and how BET was out of pocket. Family, let me preface my subsequent remarks by saying that black folks in this country don't get a lot of breaks. I get it that O.J. Simpson was not liked by a lot of people, specifically a certain segment of America. I get it. Considering the fact that black folks don't get a lot of breaks in this country, and O.J. was accused of a double homicide, in which he was acquitted of, and O.J. Simpson was a Hall of Fame football player, O.J. Simpson absolutely deserved to be included in that In Memoriam. I get it. O.J. didn't have a lot of black friends. I'm pretty much indifferent to O.J. But what I'm not going to do, make him look bad. I'm not going to help them taint his image. I'm not going to help them destroy his legacy, because I know the only reason they feel the way they feel about OJ is because OJ is a man, one of the very few in the history of this country who was accused of killing white people and got off. Yeah, now, that's what this is really about. That's right. That's what this is really about. There have been a whole lot of white people who have killed white people in this country and got off. And they've never had that same energy for those people. You know what they say? Well, I believe he was guilty, but a jury of his peers acquitted him. They saw it differently, and we just have to respect the jury's decision. Our system is not perfect, but it's the only system that we have. That's what they say. But for some reason, they go. It's OJ. They can't let it go for some reason. And they have these stooges like Half-Half, Stephen from Django, Smith perched up to do their work. They put them on national TV. They put them on these big stages where they can have a big audience, where their words can have some influence. And they use these little monkeys like Stephen A. Smith to say the things that they can't say publicly. Oh, they definitely say it in private, but they can't say it publicly because they would be called the racist that they are. In regards to BT including O.J. Simpson in his in memoriam segment, Stephen A. Smith said that when you do things like that, you got people outside the community saying things like, see that? See that? You got TMZ talking about it. You got NBC talking about it. You got CBS talking about it. You got USA talking. When you do stuff like that, how does us as a community, those are his words, I'm paraphrasing, but those are his words. How does that benefit as a community? They really care about us as a community. It sounds like when you say things like that, it sounds like to me like they really care about us. If they're so concerned about what black folks are doing and what we care about, aren't they talking about reparations? Why aren't CBS and TMZ and USA, why they ain't talking about reparations? Why aren't all these fine media outlets that you mentioned talking about police brutality, how they disproportionately murder black folks, especially unarmed black folks? Why aren't they talking about that? Why aren't they talking about the wage gap? Because they don't give a damn. That's why. So let me get this straight. All of these big, fine, reputable media outlets are talking about a dead man, but they ain't gonna say nothing about all that excessive twerking, ass shaking and bending over and busting it wide open. They ain't gonna say nothing about that.
Tomorrow is a big day for Guardians fans looking to buy individual.
All right, now I'm going to play the Faizon Love videos.
With you in his box? Or did you even grow up with a black man in the house? Were you adopted by a white family? Is that how you got the job? Because I don't know. You have no athleticism at all. I can be sport you name. Hockey, checkers, hopscotch, handball, badminton. How did you get that job, Stephen? Stephen A. Then you got to know the nerve to tell me the trial was televised for 6 months. Yeah, and so was the motherfucking verdict. Did you not see the verdict? Or were you bad? Because when you grew up in that white family, y'all said, they lit them off, Ma. You are a disgrace. A disgrace. Then you got the nerve to quote Jay-Z? Like he's a barrier of light? Are you fucking stupid? He just said, I was not black. I own you. A few ignorant ass straw niggas misquoted him. The exact quote is, I'm not black or white. I'm OJ. I'm an individual. God made me. God bless me as an individual. That's why they lost that motherfucking case, because they was judging a black man and not the motherfucking evidence. They got lost with being black. You see, no, I'm special. It's like all these children are special. They're all individuals. There's not two of nobody out here. Even twins are different. Judge me as OJ, nigga. Not just a nigga off the street, everywhere, nigga. Because that's why niggas get shot. Because that's the same nigga that came here last week. Stephen A., I know you ain't really raised at the same time. Red slap you upside your head, put a gun to your head and say, you want to go home, nigga? I know you ain't never went through no shit like that. You undercover. Raised by white folks. I was raised by wolves. Hyenas. They had to get it. They had to get it. That's why my face is scrunched up. The next time you want to get out your black, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna be black and I'm gonna show you who I is. Show me, nigga. Let's just say you beat me up. Let's just say, you know what, Stephen A. Smith whooped my ass. What you gonna do about Willie D? Willie D. Fighting in his sleep. You knock me out, here come Willie D, straight from Popeyes. And you say, who'd be fighting in his sleep, boy? I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. Because this is a culture, but we're all individuals.
All right, I meant to air that last, but I'm going to show you the original video that Faizon Love posts after Stephen A.'s comment on his show. Give me a second.
This Stephen A. Smith, man, I don't know. Where do you niggas come from? Do they groom you niggas? Where the fuck do you come from? You mad because BT is celebrating OJ? Who else gonna celebrate him? Are you fucking stupid? He was found innocent, nigga. In the court of laws, the white laws. But your dick nose is gonna go on talking about how, are you crazy? You would have did this, would have did that. Where the fuck do you niggas come from? Where the fuck do you niggas come from? I've never seen some lazy house nigga shit. You ain't even a house nigga. You the nigga that's sucking the house niggas dick. Who the fuck are you niggas? That's what Kendrick's talking about. They are not like us. They are not like you. Fuck you on talking about OJ. Nigga, are you crazy? You can't even
All right. Right, that was Willie D and Faizon Love. That was their reaction to Stephen A. following his criticism of OJ being honored in the in memoriam segment during the BET Awards. They were definitely on point with a lot of things they said. You know, Willie D, he definitely was on point of calling Stephen A. Smith out. You know, because, I mean, look, yes, I don't rock with the BET Awards like that either, but why are they so... Matter of fact, that was the only thing they talked about was the OJ Simpson in memoriam segment. They didn't talk about all the ratchetness, all the twerking, just all the off-the-chain behavior that was at the BET Awards 2 weeks ago now, excuse me. They just focused on OJ, and we all know why. Because basically, he was a black man, and he was acquitted of killing 2 white people. And they still have not gotten over that almost 30 years later. You know? And that was BET's choice for them to put OJ in that in memoriam segment. They could have not done it. They could have decided not to do it, but they chose to. I mean, yes, he was a choir boy. Yes, he wasn't really around black people like that. But still, it doesn't take away from the fact that he was acquitted. And the problem I have is a lot of people still want to relitigate this case after almost 30 years. Now, look, I did have I did make a mistake with the whole Robert Blake thing. He was not in the memoriam segment for the Emmys or the Oscars, but he still received his grace. OJ didn't receive that, not in life and not in death, and now not in death, which he should have gotten, and which he definitely deserves. But now I'm going to play you Stephen A. Smith's response to Willie D and Faizon Love. I'll be back with my commentary.
Is something I could have easily touched on yesterday. But, you know, I hadn't seen all of the BET Awards, but I saw it last night. And I'm going to get started with that because this past weekend, the BET Awards, something we look forward to, something that's been a ratings bonanza, give credit where credit is due. This is a celebration, supposedly a celebration of black culture, music, and...
Oh, excuse me for a moment. That was the wrong video. about to key up the. All right, I'm about to cue up the Stephen A. Smith clip now.
When you are in murder charges and there's a preponderance of evidence against you, whether you're found not guilty or not, a lot of people usually think you're guilty. It's not a crime. We ain't the ones that committed the crime. I'm not the one that did it, Faizon. That wasn't me. And you're talking about the BET Awards and me bringing up something and you acting like I'm out of pocket. Well, where were you last year? When the Oscars were taking place in 2023. After Robert Blake, a.k.a. Beretta, had passed away. He passed away, and then Jimmy Kimmel, who was emceeing the Oscars, said this. Put this quote up on the screen for me, y'all, please, so everybody can see it for themselves. This is what Jimmy Kimmel was quoted as saying. You can go back, you can Google it, you can YouTube it, you can see it for yourself. Jimmy Kimmel spoke on this at the Oscars. And what did Jimmy Kimmel say? Just 3 days after Beretta, Robert Blake, had passed away on March 9th, he was the butt of jokes by Jimmy Kimmel at the Academy Awards on tonight. Quote, if you think Robert Blake should be part of the in memoriam montage, the Oscars hope quipped, text, give me a Blake. Give me a Blake. To the number on your screen. Except there was no number on the screen. Just Blake, the face, appeared in neither the montage nor the extended online tribute to those who died that year. So he wasn't honored. Which brings me to my point. They actually didn't show his face. Give me a Blake. Wouldn't mention it, wouldn't show him. Not guilty on a criminal trial, found guilty, civil trial. Sound familiar? Oscars said we ain't honoring him. We're not talking about him. We're not celebrating him. We're not mentioning with the other individuals who are so more worthy than somebody that innately killed their wife. So me turning around and saying, yo, the BET Awards, what are you doing? Louis Gossett Jr., phenomenal actor. Clarence Avant, move-in shaker. Mr. Isley himself. How about Bill Cobbs and Ron Cephas Jones? How about those great actors and a great... Why? I want that. Faizon, God forbid. What if you passed away? Do I want you mentioned in the same breath as somebody who's widely considered to be an individual that got away with double murder? I didn't sit up there and say crucify the man. I didn't say like he's garbage. I didn't say any of those things. What I said is he doesn't need to be honored. He doesn't need to be mentioned in memoriam with other people who weren't accused of what he was accused of. And for that, I'm getting all of that. And on top of it all, where do they find you? Where do they make you? So now my blackness comes into play. So let me get this straight. I'm a sellout. I'm a no good, you know what. But the dude that was accused of double murder, which, by the way, wasn't my major point. He didn't want any association with black people until he was indicted on double murder charges. He didn't give a shit about us. I'm not black, I'm OJ. He said that. Jay-Z got it on the 444 album. What are you talking about? I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. We all know it. You in an uproar? All caught up in your feelings? You're supposed to be a funny man. You're supposed to be making people laugh. You're supposed to be sitting up there and entertaining us and all of this stuff. And you got your face all cringed up, looking like you ready to go ballistic over OJ? OJ? That's what? That's what got you all ruffled? OJ. That's what you want to stand on. You want to stick up for OJ. I'm not talking about you. Just your take. Your take is trash. You should be embarrassed over being angry at such a thing. You really, really should.
Are you tired of your YouTube channel not getting the attention it deserves? Building a YouTube channel can vary.
Somebody like got something to say, man, that's fine. OJ was working on their show. I understand that. What's on your mind? Don't bother answering it. Don't worry about it, because I ain't going to pay attention to you after I finish talking about this. I'm not going back and forth with you. I got better things in time. And damn it, when you on another television show or another movie, I'm going to watch because I actually like you. I like your work. And I ain't rooting for nothing against you. I'm just talking about this point. That's why you pissed. Over OJ? Really need to. Really do. Willie D. Ghetto boys. I like ghetto boys. There's certain things I love God and I'm a brother, so you know, I try to have a forgiving nature. And when I don't want to forgive somebody, I don't engage in vengeance and all of this other stuff. I just don't mess with them. I don't talk to them. So, right, you know. So Willie D and I probably never speak in life, and that's cool. Don't know him, never met him. If I'm sorry, I don't recall. Stooge. That's one of the names you called me. You called me a monkey. If you're wondering why I closed my eyes just now, it's because I did a quick prayer and I get in your ass. And I won't. You see, a lot of times people look and they look at certain people and they think you're supposed to be scared or whatever, you know. And it's not whether you can win or lose in a fight. It's not whether you can get what you're willing to get harmed for. I'm not going to engage in a back and forth, and I'm not going to incite anything. I'm not going to do that with anybody, but especially my brothers. So I'll be as respectful and as calm as I possibly can be. Was that really called for? Willie D, what am I wrong about? And if I'm wrong and you have the capability to say what I'm wrong about, why couldn't you just, why do I have to be called out of my name like that? You think helps us when you say such things about another black man? I would call anybody that, including somebody I hate, and we all know who that is. It's not you, Willie D. I don't know you. I'm not talking about you. Everybody know who I'm talking about when I talk about somebody I despise. I wouldn't call him that. So that's so out of pocket, so juvenile. It's so uncalled for. It's so excessive. Maybe yourself, does it apply more to me or you? I ain't never called no black person that. More importantly, I don't treat black people that way just because they disagree with my take. And I just gave you examples in terms of OJ's situation being televised. We saw what we saw in terms of the evidence. We understood why he was found not guilty in a criminal trial. As a member of the OJ team, Carl Douglas, the Johnny Cochran, came on this show not once but twice to explain. So we got that. To the point where I was not really talking about OJ in terms of being acquitted on the murder charges. I'm talking about all the things that came with him, not to mention the fact that he did not to be a part of our community. When we talk about sellouts and stuff like that, who was a bigger one when it came to our community than OJ? He wanted nothing to do with us. Nothing. And made that until he was indicted on double murder charges.
All right, that's enough of that. Reason why Stephen A got so defensive and got so pissed off when Willie D and Faizon Love called him out is because some of that is true, because they know some of the stuff he's saying about, well, that they're saying about him is true. And also, he can't take the heat. He's one of those dudes, he can dish it out, but he can't take it. And it's so funny when his other black people criticize him. Oh, he's got all this smoke. You know, the Hollis Queens in him comes out and he's all gangster. But Michelle Beto, who violated company policy, by the way, posted on Twitter that you needed to be suspended for your comments about the whole Ray Rice incident with his wife. You had no smoke for her. When you came back, oh, you held your head down. You were all humble and, you know, I'm sorry and I deeply regret. But you didn't threaten to get in her ass. She could have cost you your job. Matter of fact, she almost did cost you your job. Luckily, ESPN kept you on. But you got all this smoke for Willie D and Faizon Love, all because of their opinion. And also, you misquoted the whole, I'm not black, I'm OJ. He said, I'm not black, I'm not white, I'm OJ. He was basically saying, judge me as an individual. Judge me based on my talents and capabilities, not my race. That line has been misquoted for over 50 years. And also, Willie D, maybe I didn't agree with the wording, but he wasn't trying to call you a monkey to demean you. He was basically saying you're being a sellout. That's what he meant. He didn't mean it in a demeaning way. He's basically saying you're selling out, you're sitting up, catering to a certain side instead of just being fair down the middle, because you don't have this energy for others, but you have the energy for the brothers and sometimes the sisters as well. Like with Kyrie, you called that man stupid all because he didn't want to take the vax. Was that called for? But Aaron Rodgers sat up and lied about taking the vax. You didn't sit up and call him a liar. You gave him all kind of passes and grace. But Kyrie, he didn't get any breaks at all. And you talking about OJ didn't want to have anything to do with the black community. Sometimes you don't. A lot of times you don't either. You definitely don't want to really have anything to do with us. All you do is sit up and dog us and demean us, whether it's on First Take or on your podcast. Every day, all day, every day, you talk mess about us. Heck, you just put out tweets about Jaylen Brown, which I'm going to get into that on Monday's show. Like, you messing with Jaylen Brown, this man hasn't done anything to you. For the most part, he's been a model citizen. He's never gotten into any trouble. He's never been, been called a bad teammate by any of his teammates. He's very active in the community, and also he definitely has been outspoken on social issues. This is like the perfect modern athlete. But no, instead of praising him and encouraging him, you're constantly taking digs at this man. Now, I can see if he went at you. Well, of course he went at you because you saying that he's not marketable and all that. Well, reveal your sources. Who said that he wasn't marketable? But, okay, you can feel however you feel about the whole OJ case, whether you felt he was guilty or innocent. But still, don't try to relitigate this case 30-something years later. And also, BT was honoring him because he had recently passed away. And also, they were honoring the accomplishments he had in his career. He was an actor also, along with the other actors that were honored. He was also an athlete. One of the greatest college players ever, one of the best NFL running backs ever. And also, he was, if you really think about it, he was the first black celebrity pitch man. If it wasn't for OJ, a lot of these athletes we've seen past and present wouldn't be pitching products for these major companies. Matter of fact, even you were just you've been in some commercials, Stephen A. So even OJ paved the way for you to do that. And yes, I may have had my issues with OJ, but I'm not going to keep on, I'm going to respect the verdict with his case just like I have with many others. Now, I may have not liked the outcomes to those verdicts, but hey, I got to accept it and move on, just like you need to. And also, Faizon and Willie D are not the only ones who feel that way. A lot of us have felt that way about you for years because you didn't start out like that, Stephen A. You didn't. When you first came on the scene, you came acting like you were down with us. You related to us and spoke our language and had our thoughts. But then once you got put on at ESPN, started making all that money, started getting your own show and whatnot, you changed. You weren't down with us anymore. Now, I get it, you got to elevate and advance in your career. I'm not knocking that, but you don't got to put us down in order to do it. That's what they've been saying, and that's how we feel. You don't have to put us down in order to advance and move on up. That's why a lot of us still feel what T.O. said on First Take to your face, that Max Kellerman is more blacker than you.